Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is the Haves and the Have-Nots, Season 6, Episode 2, and the name of this episode is Searching for a Mother's Love. I'm sorry this review is late, but for those of you that have been following me on social media, my birthday was on the 17th, so I literally took me some time off, and I was doing fine on Cloud 9, just saying. But also, let me take the time to, due to some of the unpleasantness that we've heard about what's going on with YouTube, especially some of us, small YouTubers. Let me shout out some of my great friends, and you should definitely check out their channels because we as YouTubers definitely need to stick together, and this current situation is just insane, and we definitely need to just change, we definitely need to change the narrative, because regardless whether you guys pay me or not, I'm not going anywhere, because I am loyal to what I do, and I'm loyal to my fan base, and I'm loyal to my content. But definitely check out my family. Check out my best friend Kenneth. Kenneth Chooks at the K2 spot. Definitely check him out. Check out my sister Kyla from Rambling Reviews. Definitely check out her stuff. Check out my sister Misha Houston. She does great reviews of the Have and the Have-Nots, and also of Loving You Is Wrong. Definitely check her out. Check out my brother, the Jedi. The Jedi has come back and he's stronger than ever. So definitely check out my boy, the Jedi. Subscribe to both his channels, the Jedi and the Jedi Revolution. He's definitely, he's definitely a brother that I definitely look up to. So definitely check out the Jedi. Check out Romy. James Caldwell, my family, Lynette and Stanley at Random TV Reviews, James Caldwell, pretty much, Mike B, Mike B's my boy, love Mike B to death, so yeah, definitely check him out as well. So I just wanted to put everybody out there that, look, I'm going to support you, and, I ask that, we all, as small YouTubers, or the YouTubers that haven't reached, the big numbers yet, that we all stick together, because at the end of the day, if we're giving great content and we definitely are developing a fan base, you should be helping us to move forward, not trying to tear us under. So that's a message to Google and everybody that's affiliated with it. All right, now that I've gotten off of my rant, let me begin with this review. The episode picks up. Melissa and Veronica are still in the wreck. Veronica is trapped in the car. Melissa is sitting there taunting the hell out of Veronica, and I was living for it, because Veronica was putting that girl through hell, and now she put Veronica through hell. She's like, well, there's nobody here. Because Veronica's still screaming for help, and Melissa's like, well, there's nobody here. It was your idea to take the scenic route. Why are you scared? Yeah, because I remember when I told you about my daddy dying, you ain't do a damn thing about it. You didn't even care. And now you scared, and now you screaming for help. Ain't nobody gonna help you, sis. And then she got to the point where she was like, I just can't wait for you to die, and your son is going to dance on your grave because he hates you just as much as I do, and I'm just going to sit. I'm not going to help you. I'm going to sit here and wait for you to die. I've never smelled fried bitch before. I'm like, Melissa! She just gives zero fucks at this point. But what ends up happening is that Mitch and Benny were driving and saw the wreckage. They go and they're trying to talk to Melissa and ask what's going on. And Melissa is being very, and he's like, is there somebody in there? She's like, there's nobody in there. Just let her die. I don't care. Just completely just doesn't give a damn. And actually, it was Benny who goes in to rescue Veronica, and while she's panicking, she actually recognizes Benny, and Benny is able to he's able to get her out of the trap and pull her from the burning car. Probably just in time before it was about to blow up. So yeah, Veronica was about to go up in smoke. So we even see after the police and the firefighters get there, Melissa still is giving no fucks about Veronica. Benny's talking to the police, talking to the head officer at the scene, and Melissa is just like, yeah, she's if anything, she just made my life hell, and you should have just let her die. And he's telling her, stop saying that. She's like, I mean it. This bitch deserves to die, and you shouldn't have saved her. And then, Benny's like, I'm trying to calm, Benny's like, really trying to get her to stop saying it. But then, Melissa's just very combative. She's like, what did I just say? I was just like, whoa. Melissa just got to the point where she is not gonna be pushed around any longer. She's done. But Melissa is okay, but due to the fact that she was in the wreck herself, she has to go to the hospital, and Veronica asks for Benny to ride with her in the ambulance. So I'm like, yeah, now Veronica is like, I don't have anybody, and you're the only person that I have, and I really want you to be here with me. So Benny rides in the ambulance with Veronica, and then we actually see them later on. So next we go to the Artesian Hotel. Jim has been turned away again, and Broderick is just getting his life from it, because Jim is at the desk and he's mad as hell because his key is not working, and the reason why is because Broderick was like, yeah, the reason why your key was canceled was because you got the room under David Harrington's name, and we need to verify his information, so since he's not here to verify himself, we're not gonna we're not gonna open the room. And Jim, being the arrogant asshole he is, begins to let him know, you're gonna let me into a room or I'm gonna burn this whole hotel down, and I know about you and my wife. And he's like, what do you mean by that? He's like, you know what I mean. I know that that you're helping her, by, kicking me out of the hotel room and all that, but you're going to let me stay in this hotel. So Broderick says, okay, fine, I'll put it down that, David Harrington has okayed this transaction, so so he gives him another room key and lets him go on about his business. So then we see Jim is in his hotel room, and he's watching TV, and we see the new DA, I forgot his name. If y'all remember his name, put it down in the comments, but, the Asian guy who is the new DA, he's still trying to solve the case with Jennifer Salison, and there's this woman that's with him, and he's like talking to the press, but he's very short with them, but there's a woman there that's standing with him that Jim knows. So, and as soon as he says her name, and I think her name is Sarah, he actually gets a knock on the door, and it's Oscar. So Oscar lets him know that he got good news and bad news. The good news is that, he tracked Wyatt's account, but then he lets him know that he knows about Wyatt being an addict, and that he was actually robbed, and these people were trying to rob his account. But he said the bad news is that I don't have access to it, but if I can find a way to get access to his accounts, we can withdraw the money out. So Jim was like, yeah, you should definitely do that. But then Jim is even arrogant with Oscar, because Oscar's like, yeah, it's about time you're earning your money. And then Oscar's like, but you haven't paid me anything. He's like, yeah, but you haven't given me shit anyway. And I'm like, Jim, this fool is doing intelligence work to find access to your son's inheritance so he can get it back in your possession. Like, you act like he can just whip out a magic wand and just instantly do some shit like that. So it just goes right there. Jim is just so too arrogant for his own good. And we're going to see that the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I'm going to get to that. But while they're talking, Jim mentions the woman, her name is Sarah Duffy. And, you know, you need to kind of reach out to her, but do it under the radar. Because he knows this woman's working with the DA. But I'm thinking Jim has some history with Sarah Duffy. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that situation. Then, when I said about the apple not falling too far from the tree, I am about to let Wyatt have it in this review. Because we saw in the last episode, him and Anna started making out and they ended up having sex. He wakes up the next morning, Anna's not there. But who is there is another counselor. His name is Isaac. And Wyatt flips out because Anna's not there, and Isaac lets him know, I'm here as Anna's replacement. Anna said she could no longer work with you anymore because she felt that her position was compromised, which it was because she had sex with her client, and she felt that it became too much for her to deal with, so she opted out, and she's now working with someone else. Wyatt was not having it. Wyatt gets to the point where he's become so disrespectful to Isaac that he literally pushes him out the door. Now, your junkie sorry ass, you're supposed to be there getting recovery, not playing, not busting your dick on the late night with Anna. I mean, she did what she was supposed to do. First of all, she wasn't supposed to go down that road anyway. But at least she tried to make it right by pulling herself out of it because she cares about his recovery and cares about his progress. And she doesn't want him to relapse. But oh boy just starts flipping out. He puts Alex out, get the hell out of my house, and pushing him out the door. Like, these people are here to help your sorry ass. And here you are walking around like you arrogant, walking around all arrogant and full of yourself. Just like your father. That's what I meant, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Jim and Wyatt are like the biggest fuck-ups on this show, but they are the most arrogant, the most narcissistic, and the most conceited out of everyone. The two of them, if you really pay attention to Wyatt and Jim, they are cut from the same cloth. So, because when Wyatt did that, I was infuriated. I was like, man, Isaac should have punched you in your eye. Got some damn nerve. His job is there to help you to recover, not here to play with your dick. Sick bastard. Ooh, okay, I'm done. But yeah, that really pissed me off. So then he ends up calling Anna, like, so that's what you do? You just leave me? That's how it is? I'm like, see, Wyatt is too much of a child, you know, where he's always looking for something to depend on. And he got used to Anna being there, and he got used to the fact that she was always going to be there because he's attracted to her. And she's attracted to him, which is why she pulled out. Like, how is she going to represent you, you know, in your recovery and, you know, you maintaining your sobriety if she's having sex with you? And if she's, you know, if she's opening up her feelings where she has to control her feelings. And she lost control because the both of them had a common situation. They both were victims of child molestation. But yeah, I just had to let that be known. Wyatt pissed me off, and I was so not here for his antics. But yeah, that happened. But then we actually see that Oscar gets in touch with him, and he acts like he lies and says his name is Lyle Jefferson, and he pretty much says that we actually that he knows about his card being stolen, and he pretty much asks, do you know the person who stole it? He tells him, yeah, Quita Maxwell. But then he was saying that, you need to call your bank and get your passwords, get your passwords reset and all that. And he's like, oh, well, fine, I'll do it. If the bank calls me, I'll do it. But he says, hey, I can do it over the phone for you if you like. I can set this up for you. He's like, oh, no, I don't need you. I can do it myself. Thank you very much. And then he hands on the phone. He's like, well, wow, aren't you an arrogant little ass? Yeah, just like his dad. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So we see that goes on. So after he puts out Isaac, he got that call from Oscar, and Oscar is now setting it up where if he can get all the passwords and everything we send, and he goes through the bank, he can hack the account, and therefore he'll have access to Wyatt's inheritance. So then after that, we go back to the Artesian Hotel. We have a scene with Broderick and Rocky. Now, we remember Rocky's the bartender that works there, and he's cool with Candace. We come to find out the two of them are in cahoots with each other. They're pretty much running a prostitution ring within the hotel. And they're pretty much turning a profit off of it, but Broderick has literally started to smell his damn self because he knows he's attractive, and he knows that him and Catherine are cool with each other. His plan now is to mark Catherine, because Catherine is worth $250 million. He's like, you saw that guy downstairs, Jim Cryer. The guy is such an arrogant asshole. And think of it, for someone to be married to an asshole like that, she must be really lonely. So I'm going to go in and get close with her, and I'm going to mark her, and I'm going to get her money. And then, Rocky's like, why the hell would you do that? Why would you do that to Miss Cryer, of all people? He said that, look, she got big money. This is the big leagues. Fuck what we doing now. I'm going to try to go for something bigger and better. But Rocky is more like, let's focus on the operation we got. We making good money here. But he's like, man, I ain't trying to do this for the rest of my life. I really want a real big payout. And I'm going for it. But then Rocky's like, man, she ain't going to fall for this bullshit. She is not going to open up to you, and she's not going to be giving you her money. And he said, she will. I can get her to open up with me. Trust me. I can work I got my ways. I can get close to her. And it just shows you how arrogant Broderick is, because Broderick know he fine. Because Broderick is sex. Broderick's fine as hell. So he know he cute, and he know he can use his charm and his swag to get close to Catherine, and he can begin to start to manipulate her. But then Rocky's like, I don't think he's going to be able to pull this off. But Broderick's like, oh, I know I can pull it off. It's nothing. This is easy money. So that damn son of a bitch is trying to put a mark. He pretty much is putting a mark on Catherine. So then, after that, we get a scene with Hannah. We actually meet the repairman who's there to fix her sink, and his name is Derek. And I'm like, yes, come through, Chocolate Daddy. Yes! Because Derek is fine, and we can instantly tell he's kind of grown some type of attraction to Hannah. And, they pretty much are talking, and he actually built the house. He actually built the condominium that Hannah's living in. And, he definitely is very close to Catherine. While she's, dealing with him, she gets a call, and it's the morgue. They actually have some items that were in Little Quincy's pockets, that they want her to come and pick up. So afterwards, she, her and Derek start talking. She then lets Derek know that, her grandson was murdered, and we can see that Derek really has some genuine. He really is genuine with her, and I'm like, this is what Hannah needs. Hannah needs a man, and what better man than Derek? Because Derek comes off that he's really a nice guy, and he's saying that, I'm really sorry, was there anything I can do? And she says, yeah, you can fix the sink, but we can definitely see that, yeah, Derek is definitely taking a liking to Hannah. So she ends up calling Catherine, let her know that she has to go pick it up, and asks, is it okay if she leaves Derek there? And Catherine's like, oh, Derek is very trustworthy. You have nothing to worry about. You can leave him there. He's fine. And we see that she actually goes to pick up the things that were in little Quincy's pocket. He had like his Game Boy and his toys, and she just broke down. That scene almost made me break down, because I was like, man, it was like she just broke down, was like, Grandma, sorry, baby. Grandma is so sorry. And that scene was really hard, because I was like, wow, she still has to keep living the fact over and over again that her grandson was murdered, and it's something that it's not going to go away no time soon. And it really just goes to show how grief really is, because I'm not going to go too much in detail about myself, but I'm kind of going through a similar situation that she's going through, because I recently had a close death in my family. And yeah, it's like that, like every moment you can just break down, because the grief is so deep, and it's even more deep when it hits close to home. So let's see. So next we actually see David and Erica. David and Erica, he then gave her the credit card. She then spent like about $400 on some stuff. But he's telling her she should go all out and buy a wardrobe. And she's like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. She's just being fake as all hell. Then we actually see later on, we see that David keeps getting these calls from an unknown number, but he's not answering the phone. It's actually Justin trying to call, letting them know about Jeffrey being in jail. But he's so in la-la land with Erica, he's just like, I don't care. Let the phone ring. It don't matter. So we saw that go on. Then after that, we go back to the Artesian, and we get a run-in with Candace. Candace goes to find out how much does she owe on her bill. What does she owe in order for her to keep her room? They let her know, the guy lets her know that your room is taken care of. You paid up for the next 30 days, and the person paid in cash. We come to find out that the person that's paying for her room is Oscar. Her and Oscar meet at the bar. Oscar is still saying that the reason why he paid for her room is because he's still trying to cash in on Charles. But Candace is like so over it. She's like, he's moved on. I'm past it. I'm not really trying to go down that road. But he's trying to let her know, like, look, this is still a good mark. He's always asking about you. He's still thinking about you and shit. But she's not trying to deal with that. And a lot of it is due to the fact that Candace is grieving while she's being so negligent and just being downright stupid. Because, here it is, you got a mark where you can make a lot of fucking money, but she would rather stay there, robbing some of those old men that's coming in and out of the hotel. And he's pretty much saying that, look, I'm trying to help you, and then he even mentions that, look, do you know how much money first ladies actually make? And she's like, I don't care about none of that. She's like, that's your problem. You're so not thinking about the end game. You just so quick about getting that instant buck that you don't realize that you're walking away from good money. And so then, while they're talking, he's pretty much letting her know that, look, she needs to get her shit together and she needs to get on her game plan. But then he ends up getting a call, and he pretty much is talking about Queen of Maxwell, and immediately Candace is like, how the hell you know Queen of Maxwell? And he's like, I don't, but she actually robbed my client or whatever, And she's like, your client? And she says, is it Jim Cryer? And he was like, no, but it's his son. He's like, oh, Wyatt? Oh, Wyatt's an idiot. She's like, you know them? And she's like, yeah, I know the family. Yeah, we all know you know the family because you, one, was having an affair with Jim, and you used to be, besties with his daughter Amanda. So she's pretty much saying, oh, I can actually help you with that. What, you trying to get back to $12 million? And damn, Oscar's like, how the hell you know all this? She's like, look, I know the family. I know their asses. Then she said, like, look, if you need any help, I can help you get that back. Just say the word, I'm with you. And if anything, that's when he again, initiates with her that, look, do you know you're walking away from a great opportunity? Like, what the hell happened to you? It's like, at one point, I really thought you had a lot of potential, that you really had what it takes to really win big in this game. But now, all I'm seeing now is just a thirsty whore waiting for her next John. So eventually she kind of like blows off Oscar and she kind of chases him off. And then she pretty much calls Veronica, and asks Veronica to get back to her, but she doesn't know that Veronica has been in a car accident. Then we get a scene with these two assholes, Justin and Jeffrey. Yet again, Justin gets Jeffrey out the cell, takes him to, takes him to that private room, and begins to try to straddle Jeffrey, trying to have sex. And, and Jeffrey is like, have you reached out my dad? He's like, I've been calling him, but he's not answering. And he says that, look, find my phone. And then Justin's like, I got your phone. It's in my locker. He says, what's the code? He said the code is 6858. If you call him from that number, he'll answer it because it's me. So call him from my phone. So and then he said that, well, now that we got some time, let's just have some fun with each other. And then, Jeffrey's like, why do you keep doing this? Like, have you talked to your wife? And he's like, Jeffrey, don't do this to me. Stop bringing up my damn wife. And she's like, and he's like, I care about you, and I want us to be together. But he's saying that, look, you need to talk to your wife. He's like, stop talking about my wife. I'll deal with her when I deal with her. Right now, I don't care. I care about you. You're the only one that I'm focused on. You're the one I want. And I'm like, see, this motherfucker has completely lost it. And he's not going to take no for an answer. Because next we actually see that he actually sits, he pretty much kind of sits in Jeffrey's lap and was like, tell me you love me. I know you love me, but I want to hear that you love me and all of that. And he was saying that, he's like, yes, I do love you, He's like, I know you love me, But the thing about it, because at first, Jeffrey wasn't going to say nothing. He's like, so you mean to tell me you don't love me, Jeffrey? I want you to know that if you're not saying that you love me, it would mean that I did all of this in vain. I did all of this for nothing. And so he's like, yes, I do care about you, Justin, and I do got love for you. He's like, I just want to hear you say it. And then all of a sudden he's like, see, I knew you did. And then he's like then all of a sudden Jeffrey's like, take me back to myself. He's like, not yet. He's like, come on, Justin. Justin's like, not yet. So it's like now he's again trying to get some more of that black wood. So that's what happens. So then we get a scene with Landon and Charles. Charles is having problems with his tablet. Landon goes to help him, and he was saying that, and then all of a sudden, Charles was like, let's be real. This is just only a job to you. You really don't care. This is just something for you. This is just your job. But then Landon's like, oh no, I really do care, And then he starts going in like, oh, how much he admires him, that he's such a great person for, to become president, because he truly is a good person. And I'm like, you obviously really don't know Charles, because Charles is manipulative as shit. But he's like, I admire you, you're a real person, your passion. But he's like, yeah, I love my job, but then I love the pleasure of helping people like you, of working for people like you. And I'm like, oh, this little tramp is really trying to work his angle, because we all know that Landon is a slut. You give her a few drinks, she's ready to jump on your meat and ride all night long. So we know Landon's that kind of girl. So all of a sudden he starts talking about, if you don't have anything else to do this evening, maybe we should, get together and, maybe go to the bar and have a drink or something. And then Charles was like, yeah, but if I do, it's not as employee, I'm going out with my friend Landon. He's like, okay, and you're not the presidential candidate. I'm going out with my friend Charles. And he's like, oh, so what you trying to do? And Landon's like, oh, I'm trying to have shots. Shot. I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. Bitch, you're trying to get Charles drunk so you can take him down. Because, trust me, as I said, Landon's a slut. Landon want to get you lick it up so she can slob on that knob. So that's pretty much Landon's end game. So I peeped that. I was like, oh, this slut's about to take Charles down. And Charles is kind of intrigued, but I don't think he really knows what he's getting himself into. So we'll have to see. So we're going to see how that's going to play out. So then we also get a scene with David and Erica. They made like a little picnic, get together. She got her little new nightgown on. His phone is ringing. He's not answering. And her phone's going off. And she's not answering. But then she finally gets a text. And the text is like, bitch, ignore my call one more time. And we see that the text came from Candace. So she fakes and said, like, look, this is a call from my sister. I really need to take this. So she ends up calling back, and she's like, ignore my call one more time, bitch. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, sis. I didn't mean to do that. And she's like, he's right there, isn't he? She's like, yeah, he's right here. And she's like, you know what? She's like, and then she starts saying, like, look, and she pretty much says that, okay, and this is Candace. She's like, okay, you need to get this bastard or your ass will be dead. And she's like, but Candace, I'm sorry. I'm sorry how everything went down, with war and everything. How can I make it up to you? She didn't actually say war, but she's like, I'm sorry about how things went down. How do I make it up to you? She says, I want $100,000. That'll be a start. And she's like, how am I supposed to get that amount of money? She said, you better work it out. You've been with him long enough. You need to give me this $100,000 or I'm bringing up all your shit. And I'm like, you better get her ass, Candace. Completely flipped the script on her, saying, I want $100,000 or I'm going to let David know everything about your ass. You know, because she kept getting these calls, and immediately David was like, is this your ex? Is he still trying to contact you? I'm like, see, David ain't going to let that go. That's one thing he has in common with his wife, Veronica. Once something is not right with them, they will not let it go until they get to the bottom of it. He ain't going to let go of that ex until he gets to the bottom of that. Little does he know that ex is Candace and that Erica is Candace's bottom hoe. But in time he'll find that out. So then we actually see, you know, Hannah, you know, after she's gotten little Q's things from the morgue, she's walking down the hall and she runs into Benny, who's actually walking alongside Veronica while she's laying on a gurney. And all of a sudden the two of them just lock eyes and she's like, what the hell? And that's where it ended. So I have to say, this episode was a filler episode, but it was an episode where now a lot of things are now being set where there are going to be a lot of bombs going off. So you definitely have to stay tuned. So that's what I have. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of The Has and the Have-Nots. So until then, everybody, take care.